Hello, you're welcome to the final video of our inventory application. Um, if you haven't watched the first video, I'll peg it just here at the top so that you can click on it and watch it before you watch this particular part. So in this video, what we are doing is that we are learning the practical ways to Django web development, to learn Django using real life projects. And in this video, we are building an inventory application, inventory management system application with Django. We are using the DaisyUI together with Tailwind CSS to craft something very nice. All right, so we have done so many things in the first video. So if you haven't watched it, so you can simply go and click there to watch it. If you have not subscribed up till now, I urge you to click on the subscription button to subscribe. Subscription is free. Use it. You subscribe and support the channel to grow. Your subscription encourages us to do more videos like this. All right, let's continue. So we have created some of these things, and we have created just the home page. All right, so now what I want to do is to add more templates view to the one we have. So you can see that on the add product, we don't actually have anything there, so we need to add something to that place. So we can simply come to the field set on the Django, on the DaisyUI, and we can simply see something like this. So this can be the field for imputing our product. So we can just simply come to the HTML and copy that and go to the add product and paste what we copied. So we need to indent it a little bit. So just to indent it a little bit for readability. So let's see how it looks. Let's go to add products. So this is how it looks, and that's not too nice. It is not too nice, but we can just modify it according to however we want it to be. So let's just have this side by side. Page detail, this is going to be add products, and this is going to be product name, and then this is going to be the category, or rather the cost, and then this is going to be the price. So this is the cost price. So, and then this is the selling price, just to make everything descriptive. Let's see. Okay, that's nice. For the field set, we have BG base, border base, 300 rounded. Okay, so let's make this 400, and Also, we can justify content to center. Let's see. Let's do more. We are not too interested in some of these things, but just to make sure we have something there. And you can see some login sample. I would appreciate it if I had something like a form, but we can just do with what we have. So file input, we also need the file input, and let's look for something nice and clean. So this is good. We can just copy it and take it there into our own. After this, we can add it here, but then I am going to remove the field set and also center this, just indent it a little bit. Let's see how it will look here. All right, it fits very well. We'll still do something just to make sure that everything fits well. Then for the PK file, I don't actually need this PK file. Okay. What else do I need to add? All right, so I did some little refining to this. So let me replace with my own. So I did some little touch to that, and if you come to this, back to this and refresh, you will see that we now have the form at the center, and we have the product name, the cost price, the selling price, the product image. So we can add other things that we may so desire to have, like the product category and so on. So, but for now, let's just leave it this way. And this is the button to add the product. For the products, I would also want to display them as a card or table. I don't know which one would be better. Is it giving it opening it as a card or opening it as a table? Let's see from DaisyUI which one would be best. Let's look for cards. So on the cards, we have this, 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 and we have this. So it depends on what we want to do on the product. So the product should be a place where we show all the things we have. So the owner of the shop can easily find out which product is out of stock or getting out of stock, or which product he makes a particular amount, or amount he has to sell a particular product. So I think making it a card would be difficult. I think making it a card would be difficult. So let's try table. Okay, so this is table, and this is a table. Let's look for any table that has images on it. So wonderful. So this is exactly what we are looking for. So we can simply copy this, the HTML version of it, which is this, and we can go to the products, and just below here we can paste this, and we will just select the ones we need. Okay, I think we only need just one row, and then for the two rows, so from row 2, table row 2 down to the 4th, the 5th, whatever. So we are going to remove all of them. So we have only one row. So here is going to be product name, category, costs, price, and here is going to be selling price, th. This place is going to be the SKU, th. What else? The quantity, and then what else? Total price, total amount of the product, what else? Then at the top here, okay, just before this check mark th, we need a th to render the image, product image. Okay, let's see how this will look here on the products. So we have product image, product name, product category, cost price, selling price, SKU, quantity, and total amount. Okay. But as we are doing this, we are also looking at what is the need for this. Okay, because if we could know the initial quantity, then we can know the remaining quantity, that's the less quantity. Or should we just leave it this way and use um, stock. Okay, let's just leave this like this and work with this. Let's work with this. Let's see if this would give us what we want. Image description, category, quantity, price, cost, status. Okay, I think we should also add status, but then you see it is responsive even on mobile because of this, and we can pick whichever product, or you can pick all the products. But then I don't want to have the, we can remove the checkbox. So let's remove the checkbox and also do that at the top here. Let's also remove the checkbox. Let's see how it looks. Okay, this is better now. And we will change some certain other things that requires changing. Let's remove this. After the image, we don't need this. And we also don't need this. Okay, what else? This we don't need. We don't need this. I just want something simple. Now let's see how this will look. Okay, something simple like this. So we have total amount, cost price, selling price, and then so the total amount should be the selling price multiplied by the quantity, while cost price multiplied by the quantity subtracted through from total amount will give us the profit. So that's later on we can handle that. Okay, so for this place we have purple is category. So let's add other ones, other TD for the cost price. So let's use 500. For the selling price, let's use 700. And for what next? SKU TD, you can just give it any SKU. For the quantity TD, can give it 5,000 quantity. Total amount TD, can give it okay. And I think we should also leave the status here, which is TD. Can say active, and also at the top here TH, and we can include status. and let's see. Okay, so this is good. So we have this. All right, using this, the form should also have this. So we have the product, the category, the cost price, the selling price, SKU, quantity, and all that. So for the add product, should also have that. So we have product name, cost price, selling price, the product image, SKU. We are not going to put that. Quantity, okay, we need the quantity. We have cost price, selling price, so we also need the quantity and the category. Okay, so let's add that. So we visit the add product page, and here we are going to just copy this, and just after this, let's make a comment and say categories, and below there you can paste this and say product category, and input text, okay, enter product category. What else? Class input. Okay. What else? After the product category, what else? So we need this, we have this, we have this. The quantity, which is the last of them all. So let's add the quantity. And that's going to also take this quantity. Let's just set quantity. Product quantity. So product quantity. I think we are done with that. So let's see what we would have. Product name, category, product quantity, cost price, selling price, upload, and okay, and then add product. So everything is okay now. So let's also work on the sign up and sign in finally. Okay, let me just leave that for now. Let's leave that for now. All right, let's do something with Django. So let's go to the models and do something. Okay, let's do this from Django contrib auth models import user. So we are going to be using the default Django user model, and in our URL. So what we want to do now is just to make a sign in and sign up form. So here we are going to just say part, and we are going to use account, and this is going to be from our default Django .contrib model. So what let's look at the project on the settings.py. You can see that we have django.contrib.auth. So this is what we will use to create our login and register forms. We're also going to use it for our profile, reset password, and so on. So I hope you understand that. So the django.contrib.auth handles authentications, while the django.contrib.sessions handles sessions. Okay, so this is just for authentication and authorization. So let's go to the URLs. So here we are also going to import include. Okay, so once we import include, we can use the include to include the django.contrib.auth.urls. Okay, so we are making use of this for our URLs on the account. So let's go to the URL. I'm just going to add account. And if you add accounts, is it accounts or account? Okay, I used account instead of accounts. So let's use account as I used. So when you do that, you will see that we have account. Okay, we have account. So if I do account/login, let's see, and it will say template does not exist. So we don't have any login.html. So we need to create a folder and call that folder registration and include the HTML called login.html. Just that. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this and let's go to our templates and create a folder, call the templates, call it registrations, and simply take the sign in to this registration and move it there. Then I will rename it to login.html. And that's all I need to do right now. Okay, then the next thing is just to also render your default template layout, which is, so let me just copy what I have here and then go to the login, paste it, and use end block. All right, and then here I am going to render the form dynamically. Either I use this template tag, before then I can just simply render the form here like this and then say form, okay, or rather form dot as p, sorry, as underscore p, to render the form as paragraph of so we now have, you can see we now have a form. So this form is coming from Django directly. So the styling is not going to fit in. And again, there will be an issue with cross-site request token. So we need to add the CSRF token. So what I did is that I prompted DeepSeek to give me a good form design using DaisyUI, and then customized it according to how I want it. I'm going to paste it here, but I'm going to be leaving the templates that I used in the GitHub repository that I will provide to you in case you want to do exactly what I did. So I'm going to just replace this with this, but I'm going to tell you what each of them does. For the URL here, I am going to leave it empty for now. Sorry, undo this for now because I don't have any register page. Okay, I don't also have, I have the reset password, but it doesn't have any page for now, but I'm going to leave it this way. Okay, so you can see my form is post request. So I'm making a post request, and you must include the CSRF token just to protect this form from cross-site request forgery attacks. And then this is where I am going to validate the form. In case of errors, I am going to throw up this, and that's where I have the if form.errors. So once there is an error in the form, I am going to display this icon with this message here saying invalid username or password, please try again, and end if. And then this is the form, for username, the label for username, and the name. So this is the name that is sending to the Django model for the user name. So the name is user name, and the input is also required. And then for the password is going to be password. And that's all I did here. Okay, so these ones are alternative buttons that can take you to the registration page, but for now we can leave it this way. So if I should go back to my login and refresh, it says no reverse match at account login. So let's see where the error is coming from. So this is the URL that is giving me the error. So let me just say register and go to my URLs and add that part, and let's add register as one of the parts. And right in our views, we can change. Okay, we have a register here, but it is called sign up. So let me call it register. And if I go back to the URLs, I can call it views.register. Remember to add comma here, and the name is going to be register. All right, so we have solved that problem. So let's refresh. So you can see our form here, and it still retains our light and dark mode. Okay, but then the register, it is on an empty HTML page. Well, we can do that later on. And for now, if we do something like this and type in some password and try logging in, it will say operational error at account. No such table as auth user. So we will fix this later on. I just wanted us to do something on the login, but for now, we are going to fix it later on. So let's look at our server. If you come here, you see it says django.db.utils.operational error. No such table auth user. So we already know that this is telling us that we don't have any table for this users table, and that's because we haven't yet migrated this table. Look at it here. It says you have 18 unapplied migrations. So that's why we have that error. So let's close this server. Let's run python manage.py migrate. Press enter to migrate the table. So you can now see that we now have the auth in the table, and we also have the auth users. Okay, so if we should run this server again with python manage.py run server, and we try this again, submitting the form, the only thing we will have is invalid username or password, which means we don't actually have this user. All right, so let's create a super user. But before then, we need to tell Django where to send our login users. So when users have logged in successfully, which page is it going to redirect them to? And when the users are logged out, where it is going to take them to. And that we are going to do in the settings.py. So let's go to the settings.py, and there we can just go straight down to any of these places. You can just place it somewhere here, and then we say login redirect URL to let's redirect to the products. So when somebody logs in, they are redirected to the products page, or rather they can be taken to the home page if you so desire, but the products is also good, so let's leave it at products. So for the log out redirect URL, we can make it the home page. So for the logout, we send them to the home page, but for the login, we send them to the products. That's all for now. The next thing is to create a super user, because by default Django creates an admin for you, so we need to create a super user. So Django or rather we can use Python manage.py create super user, and here in the super user I'm going to call it Prof Rishi, the username. The email is going to be profrishi@gmail.com. This is not my email, guys, so don't bother yourself with it. And for the password, I am going to set up test1234 and repeat it again. So when you are typing the password, you are not going to be seeing it because of its sensitivity. All right, so we have created a super user. So let's run the server back again, and let's try logging in from here with Prof Rishi test1234. Let's log in, and we are taken to the products. So we are now logged in, and to confirm whether we are logged in, we can actually come to this, copy this URL and open a new tab. Instead of going to the products page, let's try and visit the admin page. You see, we are logged in, and Django makes sure that it creates an admin for us, and we can log out from the admin, and you can see once we have logged out, it takes us to the home page. And that is because we set up that our login redirect URL is going to be the products, and then logout redirect URL is going to be the home page. Now the next thing is to protect our pages from unauthorized users. So we need to protect all of our pages from unauthorized users, and to do that we need the login required mixin to protect the pages. So what we need to do is just we import the login required from the django.contrib.auth.decorators. We are going to leave the home page for the unauthorized users, but then for the product page, it should be only the logged in users that should access the product page, as well as be able to add products. So we can do that same thing here. The contact should be open, and these pages, these other pages should be open. So now that we have logged out from the admin, let's try to access this page again by refreshing it. You can see it says page not found. It takes us to account/login, and it says forbidden because it thinks that we are trying to log in multiple times. So you can just refresh this page, or rather let's see the home page and try to get to the account/login, and this is the page. So let's add the login and register into this, because we haven't added any link to them. So we should go to the layouts and we look for the login. So this is the sign up. We can use Ctrl+D to make sure that we are doing it multiple times. So we add href equal to, and then we use Django template tag URL. Sorry, this is going to be register, and then for this one, for the sign in, we do the same thing, Control D, and we can add href, do the same thing, URL, login. And let's try to access these pages directly from here. So making sure that the URLs are what we wanted. So let me just change this from accounts to this. So this will make sure that it takes us to just the login. So if I want to go to login again, I don't need to append account. I need just /login, and this will still take me to the login. So the register, the login. So each of them are working perfectly. Okay. All right. I'm not too interested in the beauty, but I am more interested in the functionalities. So it needs to function properly. And let's try to add a product that says page not found, because it is actually taking us to the account /login. So which is what it's supposed to do. So we need to tell it where to take us to for the login. Okay, so that's very, very important. Okay, so to solve this problem, let's go to the settings.py, and we should add the login URL. So the login URL is going to be login. And one more thing, inside the view, for the login required, we can actually pass in the login URL from here. So just like this. So let's copy this and also add it to this other page. And if this page should refresh now, let's go back to the home page again, refresh this, try it one more time. You can see that it is taking us to the login page. Once we log in, it now takes us to the product. Even the add product, we do the same, but if we log in immediately, it takes us to that add product. So let's try logging in. Test 1 2 3 4, and we log in, and you can see we can now add our product. All right, so now let's focus on the product, because the second part of this video is getting longer than I planned it. So let's go to the models. I'm going to close all these things. Let's go to the models, and here we will create a model for categories model, and we also need to create the product model. So we need to create just two models for now, the categories model and the product model. So let me just make it singular. So for the category, I'm going to create a class category which is going to take models dot model, and we are going to just have just the name and the description of that category. So the name, which is going to be models dot char field. Let's leave it to maximum length of 100. Description, which is the categories description, is going to be models dot text field. And the description can be blank or, so let's leave blank is true, null is true. So by passing blank and null as true, it means that even if we don't get the description, we are not going to have any issues with the form. Okay, it can be empty, it can also be populated. And that's all for the for the description. So let's set up how we are going to see this with the __str__. Okay, self, and then we can just return self dot name of the category. Then coming down to the product model, so we can create the model class for product, and it takes from models dot model, and the name of the product is going to be models dot char field for character, and the max length of 200. The product description is going to be models dot text field, and we can also leave it blank and null. The category so this category is going to inherit from the category class, which is this category model here. So it is going to be a foreign key, So let's do that. Models dot foreign key, and the foreign key is going to be the category, and on delete we are going to have models dot set null, and then null as true, because sometimes you may decide not to put up the category of that product, so you can also leave it blank. Okay, so this category is inheriting from this whatever we have here. Okay, so that's what we are doing here. The next thing after the category, we can have the SKU, which is going to be models dot char field, max length of 50 characters is enough, and it's going to be unique, so we set unique is true. What else? Verbose name, we can set it as the stock keeping unit. Okay, what else do we need? So for the inventory tracking, we need the quantity, which is going to be models dot positive integer field, because we don't want it to be less than 0, like having -1, -2, those are less than 0, so we want it from 0 up. So so it's going to maintain positive values. Okay, so that's why we set it as positive integer and integer field. So let's continue. So the default value is going to be 0, and is going to have a validator. So the validator is going to be a list of main value validator, minimum value validator, minimum value validator 0. So we need to import the validator. So to import the validator, we are going to import it from django.core.validators. So from django.core.validators import main value validator, like this. So that problem is solved. After the quantity, we need the price. So the price is just like the selling price. So it's going to be models dot decimal field, because when you take currencies, it should have decimal integer. So we are going to use decimal field, and it is going to take this argument, which is max digits. Let's set it as 10, and decimal places. Decimal places, let's take it as 2, and that is for the price. For the cost price, okay, which is going to be cost, it's going to be the same thing. So I'm just going to copy this, but then we can also allow it to be blank. Blank is true, null is true. What else? So we need to also track the status. So track status of the inventory, and we are going to use Boolean field. So let's use is underscore active and set it to model dot Boolean field. So because this is going to be either true or false, but let's set the default value as true. So once the user has created this product, the status is going to be set to true to show that it is on stock or out of stock. So out of stock is going to be false, for stock is going to be true. Then we need to track the dates when it was created. So, and the person who created it. Let's start from the person who created it. So we can say created underscore by, and it's going to be the user. So whichever user that is logged in. So this is also going to be a foreign key. So it's going to be models dot foreign key, and this foreign key is going to be the user, and this is the user. This user coming from the contrib.auth is what we are using, and that same user is what we used here, the contrib.auth. Okay, so don't get confused. So the foreign key user, and on delete is going to be models dot set null, model dot set null, and then null is going to be true, and we're going to relate this user to the product. So we are going to use related name, and we're going to set the related name to created underscore products. We will do the same for the updated, so that we can know who updated it. Updated underscore by. So So the person who created it and the person who updated it, so that you would know who changed what and when they changed it. So that's why we are tracking it. Okay, so updated by, and it's going to be exactly the same thing. So we are going to copy whatever we have here. Copy that and paste it here, but then this is not going to be created but updated products. Then the date and the time, so we can say created at. So we want to track the date when it was created, and we are going to use the date time field. So models, because we want to track both the date and the time. Models dot date time field, and we are going to make sure that immediately the product is created, the date is automatically updated. So we can add this argument, which is auto now add, and we set it to true. And we do for that the same thing for the updated at, and that's going to be exactly the same thing, except that this is not going to be auto now add but auto now. So let's change this. And finally, product image. So for the product image, we can just set it as image, and this is going to be models dot image field, and we are going to take an argument or two. So for the argument, we are going to have upload to, so that we can know where we are uploading the images to, and we are going to upload to products. And it can also be blank, so let's leave it. In case it is left blank, let's set it to true, and null, so null also true. I think the whole thing is done. Just some other things, like let's set this underscore str, and then we can return. So this time around, let's return the name of the image. Let's use the string format. We can do this name, or rather we say product name. You can set it to self dot name, and we can do by, and we can down say self dot the person who created it, so created by, so you can just copy that, self dot created by. So we are tracking who created it. Then one more, we need to perform some operations. So to do operational calculations, we can use at property and set up a function for it. So let's set for the total value, because we want to calculate the total value. So pass in self, and then we return so the total value should be the quantity of the product times the cost price. Okay, so it's going to be self dot quantity multiplied by self dot cost. And if self dot cost then else 0, so we are doing some calculation to get the total value of the product, and that's all. So let's now finally order it according to the names. So we can use the class meta and set ordering to name. And this is all we need to do. So let's CLS to clear this. So let's run make migration python manage.py make migrations. So this is going to, what is the problem? System check error, system identified some issues, error, product image is set to field, cannot use image field because pillow is not installed. So that's because we need an extension. Whenever you want to use image in Django or in any Python package or framework, you need pillow to be able to handle image. So we can just do pip install pillow and wait for it to install pillow. So pillow is installed now. Let's go ahead and make migrations again. So you can see we have created the model for category and the model for product, and this model has been stored into the migrations folder, and the file is 001 initial.py. If you go to migrations, this is it here. This has created, you can see, so this is the model. All right, now let's run our server with python manage.py run server. And let's go to our admin with /admin, and we are logged in. but we cannot see all the things that we have done so far. And that's because we haven't registered it into the admin. So to be able to see it, we must register all the models into the admin. So to do that, we just have to do something like this: from .models import all. So I want to import all the models that I have, and then admin .site .register, and what I want to register here is the categories. I'll do the same for the other one, admin .site .register, and what I want to register here is the product. Let's be sure of our spelling. So product, yeah, that's correct. Let's rerun this server again. And we can go back and refresh. So now that we have refreshed, you can see the categories and you can see the products. Let's add a category. So let's add techno. We don't have any description for now. Operational error, no such table. Product category. So let's try this. So there is an issue, and it says operational error at admin product. Okay, so this is because we are trying to add the categories from the categories. So we can do that from the table, from the products. So let's go back to products, and there is an issue with the product. So can we, and this issue with the product is coming because of a conflict between the product category that we have here in the model. So we need to fix something here, because we have category here which is inheriting from this category, and here we set it that it can be null, but here, okay, we did not. Let's debug this. Okay, I think I remember. We ran the make migrations, but we did not migrate it. So that's why we are having this error. So we need to run this command, python manage.py migrate, to push it to the table. So that's the reason why we are having that issue. So we can now run our run server again. Let's see. Okay, so we have this. Let's delete this. So let's create a table for techno, and we can set this as techno phones and gadgets. Save and add another one, Apple. Okay, Samsung, Infinix. All right, so you can see we have added all these categories. And for the products, let's come down and let's set S or Galaxy S9 and or rather 24 Ultra, and select category as Samsung, and the storekeeping unit SKU, let's just put up some random numbers, and quantity, let's set it as 23, and the price, let's say the price is 300,000 naira, and the cost is 200,000 naira. And this is created by me. Let's leave the updated at. And then we can upload the image. Okay, this is Samsung. I can save this. It says correct. Okay, let's leave this. Let's save it. So we have a product name Galaxy. So Galaxy S20 something. So let me change this. Down here, let's remove the product name and just render the product like this. So Galaxy S, okay, by. So let's use pipe to separate this. Okay, so we have something like this. This is okay. You can add more even more products. Let's add one more product. Let's say come on 40 Pro, and it's Techno. You can just add some random number, and this is going to be that. The price is 250,000 and the cost price is 170,000. Created by me and updated by me. Okay, so this is the product image. Save. So I have the two of them. All right. So let's just do one more thing before I go to sleep, because it's already late. You can see the time is getting to 3 a.m. in the morning. So maybe tomorrow morning we complete the video. So let's just talk about this page, which is a product page. But if we come to this products, let's close some of these things. Our image is saved directly on this product category, sorry, products, this thing. In fact, let's continue in the morning. I'll see you tomorrow. Please subscribe and share this video to your friends. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.